digest and absorb all of that. What we need to consume an hour, 90 minutes prior to a workout are small pieces of fruit that are maybe ground up with water that we drink, light yogurts, even the goo packets that triathletes use, which is basically straight glucose. Those fuel sources will be absorbed into the small intestine than if we were to consume barley or brown rice or a sweet potato with something that has such a low glycemic index. However, if we work out at 10 a.m. and for dinner that night at 6 or 7, that's when we would want to consume the foods that have lower glycemic indexes, such as the barley, the brown rice, the pastas, sweet potatoes. So the South Beach diet, I think, failed miserably because it said nothing about timing of the food and the fact that everything will eventually break down into glucose. That's the smallest common denominator. The Atkins diet was just simply absurd because anyone could eat however much food they wanted to with no carbohydrates, and even if an individual ate more than they consumed, even on a low carbohydrate diet, the individual, based off the second law of thermodynamics, would still gain weight. The reason why the Atkins diet was initially so successful was because once we restrict carbohydrates from our diet, we lose a fair amount of water weight. Each gram of carbohydrate that's located in our body is surrounded by 3 grams of water. And within 24 to 36 to 48 hours of a low carbohydrate diet, an individual can lose a significant amount of weight, and most of it's due to the water loss. And again, who knows of the potential side effects, long-term side effects of a low carbohydrate diet. Our brains need that glucose to function throughout the day. Again, plants use photosynthesis to generate that glucose. Why do we need to avoid this fuel source? It's completely absurd. Over the years, I've participated in numerous conversations where I discuss someone who consumes 3,000 to 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day to meet their energy needs, and that the percentages of carbohydrates of 60% carbohydrates, 20% proteins, and 20% fats still needs to be the same for someone that only requires 1,500 calories for weight loss or 2,500 calories for maintenance level. And people always respond with, oh, well, they're different, that's different, that's different. No, these conversations are so similar, and I've had so many of them that I can give someone a transcript of what someone is about to say. The social conditioning is so strong with respect to how many people want to avoid carbohydrates for the fact that it's going to make them allegedly overweight. What makes us overweight is the fact that we consume more calories than we burn, and it's that simple.